Hi there, Margaret, Kathy, and Vesta. Welcome. Hi, Carol from South Carolina. I love it when people say where they're from. It's always interesting to me. Um, yes, Kathy, you do hear a baby. Riley and her mom are here. We had a little visit, and now Andrea's doing some work for me. So, yes, you may hear Riley in the background. Gosh, what has my day been like? Did some computer work, went to physical therapy, felt pretty good afterwards. So I did a couple things I wanted to get done in my garage, just a little light lifting and moving. And then just did more computer work and visiting with Andrea and Emily, or Andrea and Riley. And we just came down here a little bit ago to start working. So Riley's almost crawling. It could happen any day. She is so close. So that's fun. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed my 14 Days of Love series. It was a little bit challenging since I haven't been working down here quite as much. Things didn't always get posted early in the day like I had hoped, but I made it happen and it's done. If you missed any of that, or don't know what I'm talking about, please go to stampinpeace.com to see that. And let me know how you liked it and if you would like to see it again, because I enjoyed doing it, and I'm going to add that to my list for 2025 to repeat that. Today, I'm going to show you a 12 by 12 easy one-sheet wonder to make 11 cards. I think you're really going to like this. And I did do one of a post during that 14 Days of Love series that included a one-sheet wonder with templates. This one is very similar to that one. So if you missed that, you definitely want to check it out. I don't remember which day it was. Probably somewhere between 10 and 12, but I don't remember. So let's get started so that we can get all the way through this and you can get some inspiration for making a stack of cards on your own. Well, I'm changing my camera position. Would you please share this live video? You can even tag your friends in the comments if you like, and they'll get right here. So that's an easy way to share as well. Well, things don't, there we go. Okay, I need it to flip. Hold on. The button I usually, here it is. The button I usually press was not appearing, but I see it now. And then we need to do this again. And now I think we're all set. Okay, first of all, I'll kind of show you what the cards will be like. I'm gonna move this back. Let me, trying to get that glare out of the viewing screen. Pretty close, but not quite. So anyways, with this one-sheet wonder, you're going to be making 11 cards in this design, okay? Then you'll also make 2 cards in this design. And then I like to call this the bonus card, 1 card left. Alrighty? So the first thing I want to do is show you how to cut your DSP. So you'll need a 12 by 12 piece for this one-sheet wonder. And I'm not real happy with this camera position. I pulled it up a little bit high so you could see the whole 12 by 12 piece. So the first thing you're going to do is cut at 4 1/4 inches. And then you're going to repeat that and cut at 4 1/4 inches again. then you're going to cut at 3 inches. And we will be using this 1/2 inch strip. We use nearly all, like a little 1/2 inch by 1 inch piece is all that is not used. The next thing I'm going to do is take those 2 pieces that measure 4 1/4 by 12 inches. I'm going to put them together because with my Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer, it's really easy to cut 2 sheets of DSP at once. And I'm going to cut these at 3 inches. So here are my 8 pieces that measure 4 1/4 by 3 inches. Those are for my horizontal cards. With this 3 inch piece, I'm going to turn it to the horizontal position and cut at 4 1/4 and 4 1/4 again. And then I'm left with a piece that measures 3 1/2 by 3 inches, okay? And these 3 pieces are going to be for vertical cards. And the reason I say that on this DSP, it's non-directional, so somebody let me know if I'm still with you. If you can tell me if, there we go. It was frozen, but I'm now good on my end. Okay, I don't know what that was all about, but I think we're good. Okay, so as I was saying, the DSP that I'm using today is non-directional. However, if you have a directional paper, so it would be, you know, top, bottom of your DSP, that would dictate that these are horizontal cards and that these would be vertical cards, okay? Oh, and this strip, this 1/2 inch strip, we're going to cut 2 pieces that measure 5 1/2 inches. And the only piece of that 12 by 12 sheet of DSP is this. That's the only piece we're not going to use, that 1/2 inch by 1 inch piece. Only piece we're not using. So as you can see, this is a great way, if you are one of those that you get nervous about cutting your DSP and you don't want anything to go wrong, using this One Sheet Wonder is such a help. And using the card sketches that I provide also, okay? All right, so let's start making some cards. I've already pre-cut and scored my card bases. I've got 11 pieces of the basic white designer series paper. That's not right, is it? Basic white cardstock, 11 pieces of basic white cardstock that measure 5 1/4 by 4 inches for the inside. And then I have 10 pieces of gorgeous grape cardstock that measure 4 1/2 inches by 3 1/4 inches. So all those pieces of DSP that we cut will get mounted here. And you know that last piece was a little bit different size. So this one measures 3 1/4 by 3 3/4. Now, it's not just about putting the cards together. I'm not going to put all 11 together during the live. You know, I try to be respectful of people's time. So I'm just going to do 3. I'll do one of each of the 3 different ones so you can see. I'll need 2 of those. And when I do this, I want to show you a version of spotlighting, okay? And this is going to be a real simple version of the spotlighting, and I think you're really going to like it. Even people who don't like to color will love this version of the spotlight technique. So remember that we started by cutting 8 pieces of designer series paper that I said would make 8 horizontal cards. Now again, you can switch. If you're using a DSP like mine, that is not directional. But if your paper is directional, they would be horizontal cards. They're saying they can hear Riley. I hope that's a good thing. I hope it's not too distracting. She is busy, busy, busy over there. It's amazing how babies can get around even before they walk. She rolls every which way. She spins on her belly. She kind of pushes off at times. So, oops, I didn't want to put that on just yet. So before I adhere all of these, caught me on that one. See, I get distracted by her. So I'm going to punch a hole. This is a 1 3/4 inch circle punch. And I'm just going to kind of estimate some approximately the same distance from each side, the bottom and the right side. Doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to punch that out. Okay. Now I'm ready to adhere that DSP. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and color this. Okay. And I'm only going to color on this circle. You know what? Let me put it on something where you can see it a little better. White on white is not helpful, is it? So I'm using Highland Heather. Oh, goodness. I've never had that happen before. Okay, I don't know what's going on with that. So we'll switch to this side. Looks like I must have dropped it or something, or did something to it to crack that. So I'll have to see if I can do a little fix-it job on it. But I'm just tapping some ink into the areas that are flowers. I think that looks, oh, here's one. And then I've got some Parakeet Party ink that I'll add with my Stampin' Blend. And I'll do the leaves. So these are bright spring colors. It looked like spring here in Ohio the first half of the week and even felt like spring, but it's gotten colder today. And we're supposed to have a wintry mix, I think, over tomorrow night, maybe into Saturday. And then Saturdays, it's going to be like 27 degrees. You get that, right? You know how that is. And the temperatures change. Okay. Now, if you wanted, I just used the light Stampin' Blend of both colors. If you want to add a little more dimension, just do some dashes and dots of the darker shade. Oh, look, I missed these leaves right in the middle. Or you can use one shade and go over some of those. See how that dimension I get there? Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is match up. Do you see how I've matched all the flowers and leaves around? I'm going to adhere this in a way that those images are matched, but I'm going to pop it up on dimensionals. And I forgot which way I had it. There we go. So again, you're just matching up those images, but then it is popped up. Do you see that? Okay. You know what? I apologize. These are directional, but we're going the other way because I see the little hearts now, and I did not have my paper in the correct position, and that's going to bug me. In the samples, I had it correct. Let me just recut this really fast. Does anybody mind? Because I don't want to put all those cards together. Well, I guess I can flip the direction, but for demonstration purposes, I want this to be right. So I have it in the correct position. Do you see those little hearts? I was paying attention to the flowers, but the hearts are directional, so I should have cut it. I didn't even look which way I put my DSP in. So there's my 4 4¼ inch strips. And I need to cut these down to 3 inches. I would just not feel good if I kept continuing with the demonstration, knowing I was showing something going in the wrong direction. So bear with me here. And I'll use the other ones, I'll make them the other direction, which I know I could do here, but being that I will be posting the template and the card sketches when I post this video to my blog, I want to make sure that I have it correct. Okay, now I can breathe again. Well, let me get these out of the way. Okay, let's start again. Is anybody having that kind of week? I have to say I have, but that's all right. Still dealing with this back issue. I'm definitely not getting enough sleep, and it really is throwing me off. Okay, so punched with the 1 3/4 inch circle punch, adding my DSP to my Highland Heather card base. And you could use anything as a mat under here. I'm using cardstock on both of these for both the card base and the layer. But as you can see on this card, I use some gold foil. So switch it up. It would be neat to have some vellum behind there as well. And then I will just color this really fast. I actually made those samples probably about 4 or 5 days into my back injury while I was bored sticking to the recliner so much. So brought those up and was able to sit and do some coloring and some easy card making. It's hard to keep me away from crafting for long. So I forgot about the hearts. My goodness. I hope you all had a nice Valentine's Day. I belong to a business training group, and we had a Zoom call on, I guess it was yesterday, maybe Tuesday. But anyways, at the end, she said, I hope you all have a nice Valentine's Day and get to spend it with people you love, even if that someone is yourself. And I thought, now that's really nice. For those of us who don't have a partner or Valentine, maybe live alone, I thought that was a really nice message she had for us. And I did treat myself. I treated myself to some Chinese food, some flowers, and it was all good. Heard from my kids because I sent them, and my nieces and my sister. Oh, my sister stopped over for a visit. So we had a nice chat and heard from my kids and my nieces because I sent them cards and treats. Okay, so now you can see this is a simple version of spotlighting. Spotlighting means really just drawing attention to a portion of the card. And I typically do that with coloring. All right, so we'll put that there. So I've got my one vertical card. Now I'm going to do one of the horizontal cards. Again, paying attention to the direction. And this time I'm also going to punch, but I'll be in like the left bottom corner. I like it kind of off center because if I try to center it and it's off, it looks like a mistake. But if you move it far enough off center, people know that it was intentional. And again, I'm just going to color the flowers and leaves on this 1 3/4 inch circle. You can see it's tiny coloring, but you can see you really just have to dab some glue in or dab some color in there. Very, very simple. And as far as adding the darker shade, especially for the leaves, just dab a little of that, dab the tip or dot and dash with the tip of your Stampin' Blend on those leaves that have that extra line through it. Super simple. You don't even have to think about it. I'm just going with where the details of the paper are. And then I'm ready to match this up. Again, I like to, before I even put my adhesive on, I like to match it up and kind of have an idea of where I'm putting it. Then I'll add my dimensionals. And I definitely want to show you the last card, and then we'll add some sentiments to these. The name of the designer series paper is Most Adored, and this is something you can get free with a $50 order during celebration. And it really is fun. The back side, I'll pull out a, remind me before we end, and I'll pull out a pack of it and show you all of the different sheets in there. One side of each sheet has gold metallics images, gold metallic images, and the other side has pinks and reds. It's very pretty. Okay, so this was that odd shape. Remember, 8 of the horizontal cards, 2 of the vertical cards, okay? And then I'll call it 1 bonus card because the size is just a little bit different. This one will also be vertical, but it is a little bit different size. So again, just punching here. in that corner. I kind of do it like this. I kind of put both sides in and then just kind of try to move it. And it usually turns out pretty close in terms of the space on each side around that circle. And on this last card, this is where we're going to use up those 1/2 inch by 5.5 inch pieces. Because like I said, it's always a challenge for me to see if I can use up every bit of the DSP or very, very close, which today I'd say we're pretty darn close with just a 1/2 inch by 1 inch piece left. Thank you for bearing with me so I could correct my mistake. As soon as I saw it, I thought, well, I'll just go on. And I thought, no, it's going to drive me nuts. I want to be a good teacher. And part of that is admitting your mistakes, right? And showing people how to correct the mistakes as well. I guess that's a lesson in pay more attention, Mary. It's not just the flowers on that paper. All right, so I'm going to, again, pop up this spotlighted circle with some dimensionals and match it up just like that. And let's put this on our card base now. I'm going to basically position these 2 strips in the center of my card front. Kathy, yes, you can do that. It's a little bit harder to make a circle smaller. What I would do is maybe punch the 1 3/4 inch circle, and with the rectangle piece, go in and punch a 2 inch, because that way you'd be able to, I'll show you what I mean in a moment. That way you'd be able to center that circle when you punch and make a larger circle. Good question. That's what I love about doing lives. I've been doing a lot of those videos lately, which is fine. They're good. People are enjoying them. But I enjoy the feedback I get from Facebook Lives because it's a good platform for us to share ideas with others. And a lot of times people will think of something, and even if I've done it before, maybe I'm not thinking about it in the moment. Okay, so I've got those. Notice I didn't measure. I just eyeball it, okay? And, okay, Kathy, that time it didn't freeze on my end. Okay, that is true. And we do have some dies that are circles. So you can do the same thing, Kathy, with circle dies that I'm showing with the circle punches. Those punches can be difficult. You need some strength to use them. Okay. Alrighty. And add some white to the inside as always, because we want to make it easy to write messages inside and easy for somebody else to read. And then we're going to make one. We'll add some sentiments. I'm needing a lot of sympathy and thinking of you cards. So I've chosen the Quiet Reflection stamp set for us to work with today. Let me just make one of these showing what Kathy was talking about. So if I cut my 3/4 inch circle, say, I'm trying to make it even, say right in here, then I can go in with the next size circle. This is a 2 inch. And this is why I say it's easier to cut a ring, because you can, and make this piece a larger circle, because you can center that first circle in the punch. See how it's centered right in there? And that's easier to do than putting this in a smaller punch and getting it to hold in place, okay? You know, Ruth, I used to stand all the time before I moved to Columbus. I always used to stand. We had, in our family home, we had custom cabinetry put in, and then I had like an island on wheels. And actually, my former husband, Peter, is the one who really kind of designed the whole layout and whatever, because at first I just approved what the builder was doing, and Peter was like, no, you have to plan for this. Where are you putting your paper? How do you want to store it, etc.? Where do you want to work? And he was right on, because he came up with a much, more functional plan for how I was using the room. But in that case, I had, it wasn't really bar height, like maybe counter height, but it was designed so that I could stand when I was crafting, and it was on wheels so I could move it. But it also had space where I could put a stool underneath, so if I wanted to sit, I would pull out the stool and sit. But since I moved and I was just using up some of the IKEA furniture that we had in Emily's room in our family home, now I mostly sit. Although I think I'm thinking about getting one of those standing desks that you can raise and lower, because with my back, I'm supposed to be getting up every hour and moving or doing an exercise or something. With this injury, they told me it's not good to sit too long, it's not good to stand too long, so not good to walk too long. So I'm constantly changing my position. So that's my story. I've done it both ways. And when I go to events, you like your adjustable desk. Okay, Vesta, good to know. When I go to events, crops, whether it or craft weekends, whether it be my own or somebody else's, or just with girlfriends, I'm always sitting in that case. Okay, so now we still want to match up, but we have to remember that part of the image is missing, okay? This is where the hearts in the one direction are very helpful to matching up. That looks pretty good. So that's what Vesta was talking about, that you can make a larger circle so that the cardstock or whatever you use behind the DSP shows up. Isn't that great? And I love that technique. So Vesta, thank you. I think it was Vesta, maybe not. Maybe it was Kathy. I can't remember. Tony, isn't that true? It just depends on what we're doing. Look how pretty that is. Okay, who likes the spotlighting? It wasn't Vesta. Oh, maybe it was Kathy. So again, these are the 3 designs of cards that One Sheet and Wonder makes. 8 of these, 2 of these, and 1 bonus card. And we'll put this, I'm going to put this on my blog post about this as another option, another variation. All right. Let's add some sentiments. I've already pulled out a couple, and let's do those first. And I'm going to stamp these on some basic white scraps I have. And I'm going to stamp in Highland Heather. I feel like I never have enough space when I'm doing Facebook Lives. Or maybe that it's still, I don't have that helper to be handing me things and putting things away for me, right? Girl can dream, huh? So you're on my mind and sorry for your loss. And I want to use the same size circle, 1 3/4 inch. Again, if you prefer circle dies, that works fine too. And you don't necessarily have to do circles, okay? You can do ovals, you can do a flower shape, you can do whatever you want, all right? Punch this one. And I'm going to do 1 more. I have to be honest and say, I have a hard time making sympathy cards when I need a sympathy card, because then I sit here and I'm thinking about the person, especially if it's somebody close to me. The memories start coming and then the tears start falling, and next thing I know, I'm dripping tears crying into the card. And sometimes it's just harder to get my thoughts together that way. So now let's add the sentiments, and I'm going to add these flat, and I'm going to tuck them under the see, I did 2, sorry for your loss, and what's this one? You're on my mind. Where's my little one? I think I'm going to put this one here. So I'm tucking part of the stamped circle under the spotlight circle. Do you see that? Okay. Deborah, I think that's a good idea. Start training Riley to be my helper. Wouldn't that be fun? All right, now for this one, I'm going to use one of the other sentiments, because you get these 2, but then you get these 4 long horizontal sentiments. So I'm going to use this one. To remember is to give life to those we've loved and lost. I love that saying. And let's see here, I'm going to use this. I like the block I'm using to be a good bit bigger than the stamp so that I can see the edges of the paper. Especially in a case like this where I have this narrow strip that I'm stamping. So I have a 1/2 inch strip. I'm going to do my little angled ends trick. I bet many of you have seen me do this. I cut 1 angle, and then to match the other angle, I take the piece I cut off and I place it on the other side, kind of trying to make equal space on both ends between the cut and the letters. And this way, I know my angle is going to be the same. Super easy to do, and you get a really, I'll say, professional looking result. Okay. And I'm just going to tuck it under like that. And this one I am going to pop up. Oh, Kathy, I getcha. I guess that could happen too. I never met a person who did not like this tip for the angled ends. I'm going to put that just slightly under the circle. Okay. And I'm going to give away these 3 cards. I'm going to keep this one as my sample to be sure that I remember to put that on my blog post. But here are the 3 cards. Again, with this particular One Sheet Wonder, you'll make 8 of these, 2 of these, and then 1 of this. I call it the bonus card. Bling, I don't know. What do you think? I'm thinking if we put any bling, it needs to be something very subtle. So let's see. Yeah. Here's an idea. If I just do 1. And then, oh, you know what's pretty with this pattern? This is what I'll do. If I can find them here. And I did it on my sample. Did anybody catch on my sample? Okay, I have 2, but I thought I had 1 pack open. I'm going to do the butterflies. And I think that works for here it is, for a sympathy card, okay? And it works with the florals on here, plus the metallic of the butterflies. So I'm just going to add this one right up, whoops. Deciding where I want to put it. I'm going to put this one here. And I'm going to add 2 small ones. 1 here, and then 1 on the DSP. And let's see, what should I do with this one? How about this right up here? So I'm adding 1 large and 2 small to each of these. I'll do 1 here. And how about 1 here? What do you think of the colors? I used Highland Heather and Gorgeous Grape. What colors would you use? There's so many combinations that I think. I had a hard time picking what combination of colors I would use today. All right, so those are the 3 cards. If you would like to, let's see, Every Day with Details. Okay. Oh, I forgot to mention, and it's part of the blog post that will go out tonight with these. But for Lent, and I'm not preaching religion or anything like that, but we are in the season of Lent. If you're familiar, Lent is 40 days. It's basically like Monday through Saturday for 6 weeks and 4 days of Holy Week. But for, I think that's right. Yeah. But anyways, so I was thinking yesterday, what can I do? Do I give up something? So I gave up soda. I've devoting 40 minutes of each of my days to quiet time, a time of self-reflection, maybe prayer, maybe meditating, or maybe taking a rest and just being in the moment. And then my last one is 40 cards in 40 days. So each day I'm going to just randomly pull a card and mail it to somebody. Okay. So if you want to join me in that, if you want to spread some kindness, 40 cards in 40 days, please do that. And I'll have a place where you can post that here on Stampin' Peace with Mary Nabe. I just think it would be fun. It would be a nice motivator for all of us to remember to send the cards that we make and to reach out to people and show kindness and love and friendship, etc. All right. And some of you may start with one of these cards. If you would like to receive one of these cards, let's see. How about if we type in the comments now, quiet reflection, quiet reflection. This, I've used this so much already. It's already looking a little tattered on the cover, but I love it. I love it. This is one of my favorite sympathy / thinking of you / caring thoughts stamp set I can remember. It really is a favorite of mine. It is found in the January to April 2024 mini catalog. That's where it is. I also recently did a class with it. So if you're interested in that, you can go to stampinpeace.com, click on shop, and then click on PDF tutorials and look that up, and you'll be able to see that. And then you might want to buy the PDF tutorial. And if not, that's okay too, but you got to peek at those cards. All right, quiet reflection. It is Thursday. I will see you again on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Melanie, I agreed, and I'm not a big butterfly person. I really am not. And we've had a lot of butterfly stamps in the last few years, dies, bunches, we've had it all. But there's something about these little tiny butterflies that I absolutely love. And I love that they're so flat. Like, they really are no thicker than maybe a piece of cardstock. So it's not one of those you have to worry about mailing. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope Riley brought a little smile to your face when you heard her in the background, because she sure makes me smile. I will see you Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Until then, be sure to check out my YouTube channel, Stampin' Peace with Mary Nabe, and also my blog, stampinpeace.com. Oh, Kathy, I would love for you to see her, but her mommy took her up a few minutes ago to lay her down for a nap. But Riley's going to be with me next week, Thursday through Sunday night, maybe Monday. I can't remember. So I'll make sure we pop on. Her mom and dad don't mind if I do that. And it's just fun to see the responses of all of you. So thank you for letting me share my family with all of you. I do appreciate that, and I do enjoy it. Have a great evening, and I'll see you Tuesday.